You can store in the servers to which multiple computers are linked. You can store in the cloud now so that you can access from anywhere. And you can store even the smartphones. Depending on the capacity of smartphones, you can store for 6 months, then transfer to the desktop. Again, you can store, that's also possible. You can store in the tablets, etc. Retrievals of information, another advantage is you can retrieve from multiple places. As I told you, I'm able to retrieve my records in my clinic, at Asha Hospital, at rural center. You can retrieve from anywhere if it is in the cloud. If it is in the books form, where do you carry those more records? Then transferring, so entry, then storage, retrieval, and transfer. You can transfer data from one computer to the other computer very comfortably. It's not a difficult task. You can, for sharing of information, you can do this. As Dr. Pramod told that he could share all the prescriptions of a patient to a cardiologist in US. You could just transfer from here in a fraction of a second. That's how it's very comfortable. This is the advantage of it. How do you transfer? You can just load onto the pen drives and then give it. It can be transferred to another system. You can, through internet, you can just transfer. Through WhatsApp, you can transfer. Through SMS also you can transfer, but brief messages only. SMS, the limit is 160 characters. That's what it's, short service, message service, limited to 160 characters. But MMS you can transfer bigger ones. I think it's 2,600 characters something. It's a bigger capacity they have. Even photos you can send in the MS. It's a messenger service, multimedia messenger. So you can send photographs, drafts, everything you can send in that. Then another advantage is teleconsultation. So you can give consultation to people, either in the form of text, or in the form of video, or even audio. That also I'll explain in the next few minutes. And data collection analysis. Patients' investigations you can just collect through online, and you can use it for analysis as well. All your patient records can be analyzed very easily if it is in the desktop. You need not refer every page of the case sheet. You can just, if it is fed properly through a proper management platform, analyze the data so comfortably and say, I've seen so many depressed patients in the last 1 month. So many tablets of alprazolam are used in this small 1 month or so. It's so easy to analyze. So it's another advantage of this. What are the disadvantages? So there's some investment involved, extra investment, if you shift from the manual to the online versions or digital systems. Cost of hardware, cost of software, and cost of training. You need some sort of training for these things. Maybe very minimal training is required nowadays, not much. And also time and effort. You have to put some effort for training. Then other disadvantage is security of data. It can be because of system defects itself. It can get corrupt. You may lose the data. The problem will be there. If it is stored in the cloud, this problem may not be there. Then you have program defects, which can lead to, like some virus can occur, and then data can go. This disadvantage is possible. Or suppose you are using a management platform through a vendor, he might close the service. Once he closes his service, your data was in the cloud, it was not in your system, so it may not be available to you unless he stores and hand it over back to you. I explain my own personal difficulty, what I have faced. I used to take service from another vendor before. During the COVID, he has closed the service. So all the data was not available with me in my hardware, in the system. So I had to request him to transfer the data to the new vendor, and new vendor has to upload again. But they could not transfer total data because the way the two systems were working were different. I think I have lost about 30 to 40% of the data in this. So how I managed again is continuing with the new vendor now, all the new case sheets. The second, the old data I start entering in the Google Sheets as a parallel system. What are the prescriptions they get next time? Again, generate a new file. Independently, Google Sheets were open, which is not connected to the server. So this also all of you can use independently without hiring any vendor service. You can just use Google Sheets as a total storage itself. It's possible, what even Dr. Pramod has told. So he's not using any software from any vendor. He's using his own program using the Google Sheets only. That is also possible. So now I'm using two parallel systems. So gradually I'll be shifting this to the main system. That's how I'm transferring the data now. Difficulty in retrieval of information, same thing what I told you. If it is lost, you may be having difficulty in retrieval. It may not be available in remote areas. But now it's not a problem now. Now smartphones are used by almost 70% of the population. Smartphones are there. Because smartphone is required for the services for the patient. Patient needs only smartphone. Or even if they have even the future phone, still we can now have audio consultation, but not the video consultation. There's some limitations are there. Because telepsychiatry says sometimes you should have video consultation. Audio consultation is not continuously advised. Because identity is masked. You don't know who is speaking to you. So, but this availability is not a problem now. It's available everywhere now. Even 5G is available in most of the tier 2 cities now. Only villages still you have 4G services. So it's not a problem at all even now. By the time you plan, it will be available to each and every patient probably. If the patient doesn't have, we'll borrow the phone from the neighboring person and then they use it. It's not a problem at all. Reliability of assessment is less here. Like, it is more reliable when the patient is before you, when the family is there besides them. The information what you get is 3D, but if the patient is on phone or other side on audio consultation, information given is not 100%. Sometimes it is masked. You will not get the emotional expressions properly, right? You will not get the 3D feeling. So it's less reliable than in-person consultation. This is one of the disadvantages of this. And we have to follow some more laws related to IT. What Dr. Pramod said, now you have to follow two laws. Medical council law for medical practice and IT laws because you are practicing teleconsultation. This is a burden to some extent. What are all the areas where you can use? You can use for clinical practice. You can use for medical education. You can use for medical research. These are the main areas for which we are trained for and use our services. And you can also use for medical administration and medical communications, that is between our own professionals or doctor to patients or carers. These are all the areas where we can use the IT. Within the clinical practice, we can use for appointments, which is the simplest thing which can be done. Either appointments you can do for yourself or your receptionist will just give one phone. They will manage for themselves. Or you can use the programs where automatically they can go to the website and then fix their own appointments. Both are possible. And to registration itself, the social demographic data, what we collect when the patient comes, the name, age, sex, etc. That you need not do. Your receptionist can do this job and transfer the data to your computer. So you can save some time here. So once the patient comes in, you will directly go to the clinical work instead of focusing on feeding the social demographic data. This can be done. That's what I do. I give one tablet to my receptionist and one smartphone to receptionist. Appointment is done through WhatsApp and data, social demographic data is entered through tablet. Then medical records. There is electronic health records, medical records. We can systematically do it so that it is accessible for analysis again. It's very easy to analyze data once it is in electronic form. Investigations report, if the patient brings, you can just scan and transfer to your system. Or you can order investigation through electronic form itself. Then fee collection can be online. Either you are collecting, now it's very easy. Paytm, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, anything. Patients will pay the fees online. There is no change problem. You need not store and carry the fees. It goes directly to your bank account. So you can use it. Or the vendors are collecting the fees and giving to your account. Usually they do once a week or once a month or so. But always better to collect for ourselves instead of depending on them. And emergency consultations probably we can just provide, but we should not prescribe medications. We can only advise. After listening to them, we'll say you go to go in center, or just stay calm, come tomorrow at so-and-so time. Or go to GP, take this medicine, prescription from them, and then use it. Because as a psychiatrist, you are physician first. Without seeing the patient, better not to give any prescriptions. At least first time. Subsequently, you have the medical records, everything. You can give the prescription online, but first prescription, it's preferable not to give any medical prescriptions. Only you can give advice. Then telepsychiatry, the total practice of psychiatry, which was already dealt in detail by Dr. Pramod in the morning. Clarification of patients' doubts or carers' concern. Sometimes they will not discuss with you in the clinic, they forget to discuss, but once they go home, they'll get some doubts. They want to have clarification of doubts. So you can just clarify through WhatsApp or audio. But here we should take precautions. As one of the young psychiatrists was telling in the morning, I'll get telephone calls, I'll be disturbed, it will be stress to me. You need not respond immediately. Let the message come. Only when you are in the clinic, you clarify the doubt through message again. So you need not respond immediately, there is no way. So without disturbing your own stress levels, you can manage. This clarification can be done. Like what I do now, clarification is I give two options to them. One is they can call to my clinic. After my routine clinical time is over, I close the clinic at 9 o'clock. So 9 to 9:30, I take calls. But the limit is you can talk for 1 minute, not beyond that. It's a free service, but only 1 minute they can talk. Only between 9 and 9:30 on working days, Monday to Friday, not other days. Only when I am in the clinic, not when I'm outside the clinic. Because when they want to have any clarification, they have to tell the ID number. I'll open the file, see it, and only give the response. So I'm giving only when I'm in the clinic, only during the clinic time. Given half an hour spare, I'll keep at the end of the clinic. That's how we will manage without having troubles for ourselves, but clarifying their doubts. Treatment procedures, it can be used, like virtual reality can be used, the digital technology. Then inpatient facilities, again, we can use for medical records, fee collection, transfer of records within the hospital, lab to the consultant to the lab, etc., to the pharmacy. We can transfer online. The data communication within the hospital or between two hospitals can be done using the online system. What are the requirements? So basically any IT, the three requirements are hardware, software, and skinware. Hardware is the desktop or the computer, the tablets, smartphone, etc. Software, even servers are part of the hardware. Software is the programs. I'll be discussing about that. The skinware is the training. We need training, some awareness about anything. Whenever used, we need some training for that. Hardware, these are the examples like desktop computers, laptop computers, tablets, smartphone, smartwatch, headset for VR, and Fitbit. These are all the hardwares which are used in the telemedicine or digital psychiatry. Software, when we come to software, there are so many things which are there. They are called programs, which are more elaborate ones. Apps, they are very short forms. Podcast, I'll explain each one separately. Social media and search engines. These are all the software what is required. So these are the programs, psychiatric service management programs. They can be simple clinic management programs. They can be hospital management programs where all the departments are linked together. or it can be just for telepsychiatry. Any independent programs can be there. But always the guidelines is better to sit with them, see what is required to you, and then finalize what software program you are going to purchase. Don't purchase haphazardly. And if a particular software is prepared only for psychiatrists, that is the most preferred one. But they're not available. What I used was prepared by myself. I used it for several years. It's only for psychiatry, nothing else was there, so you did not go on skipping the things which are not required for you. It's preferable if you can manage like this. Sit with them, tailor to your own needs. If they can modify the major program, deleting other things, it will be useful to you. Because we have some more special requirements compared to other specialties, and we don't need so many things which others need. So the modification is always better. So we have so many things like HealthPlix, what I am using presently. Then Practo is there, Psych Online, Connect to Clinic, PVENS, eManas is the government initiative. Then Tattva Care, so many programs are there which can be used for managing the digital psychiatric services. What are podcasts? Podcasts are audio shows. Like All India Radio we used to hear shows. Only audio will be there. It's a podcast. There's no video there. It's available for streaming or downloading that cover a wide range of topics, including mental health. There are certain podcasts which are available for mental health also, but remember, they are only audios. These podcasts often feature discussions. It can be even dialogues. It's recorded and then broadcasted. Interviews, personal stories, and expert insights related to various aspects of mental health and well-being. Few examples of podcast are the Mental Illness Happy Hour. It is hosted by comedian Paul Gilmartin. This podcast delivers into mental health topics with guests sharing their experiences and insights. Like I can sit with Chandani, maybe I'm an anchor and he is a consultant. I can record everything and podcast. It's a broadcast of audio versions. So Therapy Chat, again discussing various therapeutic approaches and issues. Anxiety Coach Podcast, which provides strategies, tools, and guidance. These are basically awareness programs, not therapeutic in nature. Only we are listening, it's not applicable for individuals. It's only to increase their knowledge, awareness programs. Struggle Bus is another podcast. It offers advice and guidance on various mental health challenges through listeners' questions and discussions. Apps. We are very familiar with apps now. The latest one is apps. Apps are a software application. App is an application, often a small, specialized program for mobile devices. It occupies less space compared to regular internet programs. They are very small, job-suited ones. So these can be educative. This can be used for assessments. There are so many scales which are available as apps now, which are just small units of that particular program itself. It can be used for therapy. It can be used for management. What are a few examples of mental health apps available? Practo Consult is there. MFine, it offers teleconsultation also. It promotes and links psychiatry with the patients. Apollo 24/7 Health is there. Again, it links patients with the doctors. Docs app, it offers online consultation. Protea is there, which provides home health care. This is for maybe geriatric healthcare, it's quite useful, where it provides home health care, which includes psychiatric consultation also. Mental health helpline, then Talk to Angel. This is purely a counseling type of service. Then you have Your Dost, it provides online counseling and therapy services for mental health concerns. And Manas is also available as app. Digital tools which are available now for monitoring our health, which can be used in psychiatry. Fitness trackers. You have heart rate monitors, which have brainwave monitoring headbands. stress tracking wearables, emotion sensing devices. These are all the digital tools which are available, which can be used. Not all of them are for psychiatry, but we can use as a monitoring tools even for psychiatry. Some smartwatches have features like guided breathing exercises or reminders for mindfulness practice to help manage stress and anxiety. Then we go to skin wear. The training is required for most of the software programs what we need. So training can be in person through institutions, or training can be online through institutions. Self-learning through YouTube. YouTube has so many training videos, we can just learn from them. Self-learning through books. There are so many books which are available on IT which can use. And I want to just tell one thing. This Chat GPT is the one which is becoming very popular, and it is for the future is very essential. Chat GPT is, chatting is two-way. That is, discussing between two people is called chat. GPT is generative pre-programmed, pre-trained transformer. There's a full form of Chat GPT. It is even far better than Google search and all those things. We have to just give a prompt. It gives a response. Like when I tried for this exercise yesterday, I just gave a prompt, kindly prepare PPT for presentation of digital psychiatry for psychiatrists. I got some of the heading like podcast and all those things, I don't know. I got it from ChatGPT only. So I advise all of you can just undergo this training online. It's very cheap now, just 9 rupees, 3 hours of training online. They're charging just 9. 2 months back it was 99, before that it was 299. They're gradually reducing the price because everything is ready. They're only making the profit now. You can just register 3 hours course. It's very useful. You can get a lot of information from this training. Artificial intelligence training for 3 hours. Yes, you can get so much thing from ChatGPT. I wish all of you can undergo this training of just 3 hours. Worth undergoing this training. Yes. Then laws and ethics of digitalization. Of course, telemedicine guidelines are issued by the Government of India, Ministry of Health in 2022. So which was not legal is made legalized now. As Pramod was telling, it was not illegal, but it was not legal before. So we used to practice. I am practicing telemedicine for the last 10 years. It's not after 2022. So at that time it was not illegal. It was not legal, but it was not illegal. And another is HIPPA, which for US, it is a Health Insurance, Privacy Protection and Assurance Act, Portability Act. So even now, in India also, most of the programs, they use same thing because India has not yet evolved this standardization. I think it is a process now. Even Government of India is trying to standardize minimum requirements. Till that time, probably, HIPPA is used by all the program makers now. Like FDA will be using whenever Indian guidelines are not available. Same thing is followed here. Of course, Indian Medical Council Professional Conduct Etiquette Regulation 2002 has clearly told about the telemedicine now, which was not there before. They have given all the, which were explained in the morning by Pramod. Of course, we have to know about the relevant provisions of the IT Act as well. Then data protection and privacy laws, that is HIPAA is nothing but same thing. And Schedule X drugs and cosmetics rules 1945, we have to know when we practice telepsychiatry, which are the drugs we should not prescribe online. All those things will be covered. All Schedule X drugs we are not supposed to prescribe. To conclude, digitalization has several advantages and few disadvantages. Digitalization is the need of the hour. Efficiency of service improves and patients expect it. So be prepared, go for digitalization. They expect you have to provide it. Digitalization can make services reach remote areas. You can treat the Patients, rural areas sitting in Hyderabad now. And digitalization is not very costly. It's not really costly. Investment is not much. You can just purchase one tablet and manage, that's all. Internet service, tablet and manage. Or desktop is preferable over tablet because more comfortable. Digitalization is going to move forward rapidly and get to know and start implementing digitalization to make your services accessible to people anywhere, affordable, and more efficient. They'll be saving a lot of money on travel time, comforts, leaves, all those things. Multiple advantages are there, but there's some limitations. With all these things, how I am doing it now, I'll just explain. Because to create confidence, I do provide teleconsulting service for the last more than 10 years. Previously, I used to provide now and then, rarely. But after COVID, it has increased. So my clinic was closed only for 2 months during the COVID. After 2 months, I opened the clinic. But I have given options both. Now you can have in-person consultation or teleconsultation. But always, first consultation is in person. First consultation always in person. If somebody asks me, first consultation online, I don't give it. At the most, I'll give advice, but not the prescription. That's the limitation. Even telemedicine says at least video consultation should be there for first consultation, not audio consultation. Because identifying is very important. And I'll give them option that alternate consultations can be video now. Online consultations. Not continuously, video is not given, only alternate consultation. They come to clinic now, next time they can have online. Again, they have to come to the clinic. This is how I am taking advantage of both the reliability, quality, and the convenience to the patient. And the fee structure, I am not charging more. Fee is the same, whether it's online or offline. Because my efforts, expense is same. I'll sit in the same clinic and see the patient. Whether patient comes to before me or not, I'll use the computer. Whether patient is at home, I use my computer. I use the internet whether patient is there here or there. So my expenses are not more. The time consumed is same, whether patient is before me or online. So my fees is same whether it's online or offline. Because some people charge more for the online consultation. Some people may charge less also because they may consume less time. Both are possible. But I am keeping the standard as same fees. So these are the few guidelines I kept myself to take advantage of teleconsultation benefits and take disadvantages also into consideration. This is how I'm just putting into practice. So for any one of you need any clarifications, you can just send an email to me. I've given the email there. And WhatsApp number, you can just send the message or email. For further guidance, you can take my help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It's indeed a very comprehensive and lucid presentation, right from MS-DOS, disk operating systems, to the current ChatGPT. I think it's a very long journey of probably 50 years now of technology. 1980s MS-DOS, IBM machines, and then today we have ChatGPT, OpenAI, and other stuff. One of the couple of other things, I think, Dr. Reddy, because to make it comprehensive, one of the things is reduction in drug errors. Prescription errors, I think they go down dramatically when we are using technology. We are less likely to use combinations which are awkward or which might really come and bite us at a later date. And when we print it out, the dispensation errors are less likely to be the things, and it will not let you prescribe 100 milligrams of benzo on a script. It will not allow you to do that. And continuity of care, I think that's the most beautiful part of the whole journey. I leave the discussion open to the floor, and perhaps we can take it from there.
I think another preventive step I've taken is online consultation is a fixed timings only, not any time. It's very fixed, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. on 3 days a week. Only at that time they'll be provided online consultation when I am before the system in the clinic, not outside the clinic. When I'm outside the clinic, I don't provide on teleconsultation. That's one precaution I've taken. And the way appointment is taken for teleconsultation is they have to pay the fees in advance, that is before 1 p.m. on the day of teleconsultation. They can pay through Google Pay, Phone Pay, whatever. The number is given to them. They have to send the old prescription and the payment transaction slip before 1 p.m. So around 1:30, I'll send them a message because I'll get it on my phone. I'll be calling you between so and so time. This 2 hours also I'll break into 1 hour each. 4 patients I'll say I'll call you between 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Another 4 patients 4:30 to 5:30. There's a message will go so that they need not waste 2 hours of waiting. So they can just wait for 1 hour. This I'm taking the structure so that it doesn't harm me or them. These are guidelines for youngsters to take care of their own mental health and the patient's mental health.
The other advantage is about the legal issues. Say whenever if you have, we don't know when the legal issues arise. Say like one of the patient of mine, she committed suicide and the consultation was done 1 year back. So the hospital got a notice from the lawyer telling that the patient had done a consultation 1 year ago and is it related to the suicide right now, what happened, the suicide she did. So we were able to, it was through one of the online platforms. So what they did is, since the records were there for almost 3 years, they were able to go back to the telephonic recording. They were able to retrieve what the talk we had done, what the audio recording, and that was shown as a proof. And the worst part of this case was like the boyfriend of the girl was arrested, telling that he under the abatement of suicide. So he was in prison for almost 14 days. Now once we retrieved the audio, the same thing was submitted to the court, and court was clearly said that there was no wrong of this boy and the boy was released. So having these kind of things, digitalization is much, much important, and especially with medical legal cases increasing day by day. So that's why that's one more important aspect of the telepsychiatry.
Just for young people, if you're recording audio or video, Article 21 of Indian Constitution doesn't allow you to record unless you seek consent in some form. Either verbally, the patient says, I consent to this recording. Otherwise, like imprisonment 6 months. That's the sad bit. So if you're recording a conversation either through yourself or a third-party vendor, a consent has to be sought either in a little consent form. Conversation can be recorded for clinical purposes or whatever purposes or legal purposes. Some documentation or some consent has to be sought. Article 21 is very particular, especially medical health records. That's one of the problems with legality and health. HIPAA is one of the things which insists on that sort of things. Yes, it is a two-way street. Exactly. The patient cannot record as well. Yes.
Here one advantage I have is I am recording all this medical record in the text form. Not a voice record that is permitted, because in other ways we are recording on the paper.
That's a medical
So it's,
record.
yeah, medical record.
Medical record, you're entitled
So
to.
one advantage I have is I am a qualified typist. I got trained in typewriting when I was intermediate, is useful now. While talking with the patient directly, I'll feed without interference. This advantage I have, but others can use the dictation. They can scribble on the paper, then they can dictate. It can come.
As usual, Ashok Reddy is very practical, and he uses technology very well, and he knows the limits, boundaries, and what is essential for that. In fact, as you have been saying that, it was in 90s and all that, when the first computer came that was used, and that's how things have started evolving. See, one thing I want to know is, whenever you have a digital prescription, is it screen frozen, time frozen and screen frozen? Otherwise, it is liable for manipulation also. If suppose some, like the case which you are saying, 1 year back the patient, had a consultation that was digital consultation on the platform and all that. But then, is it possible, because these days the fakes are very common, you have very simple softwares, and we have seen the recent on the news and all that. So it's very easy to manipulate, my prescription also. So they can have a lot of multiple copies at different times and all. Is that safe? I mean, what I mean to say is, how is it screen frozen or not?
Sir, yeah, in my experience, I am sending the prescriptions in two situations. Online consultation, which is part of the program itself. It goes automatically through the program itself. At the end of consultation, I feed the prescription and say send through email or WhatsApp. So it is definitely recorded there.
Yeah, no, what I
As per the program.
Yes.
It can be traceable. And this prescription will have everything what you have in your physical prescription. My name, my qualification, my medical registration number, my date of the prescription, and my signature, which is digitally scanned and kept there. Is there. So date is there already in the prescription.
Yes,
That is one format. Second is through WhatsApp I am sending. Again the same thing. Same similar prescription goes through WhatsApp. So it also has every details what the physical prescription has, what the telemedicine guideline says. You are supposed to have your total name, qualification, medical registration number, your instructions, and your signature should be there.
Yeah, I understand that these are multiple ways of transmitting the data, but my concern was not actually that, because once the patient gets his prescription, he will take one print, most probably, and then he'll go to the medical shop and get all these medicines. That's a different issue.
Majority
Okay,
of the
that's fine. But what I
majority of
want
the
to ask is
PDFs
that regarding the digital
Yes, sir.
thing, the whole thing can be now easy to fake.
No, sir.
Yeah.
So in that majority of the PDFs which we get, they come in a flattened form. So whenever you go back to any website which converts PDF into Word or PDF into a PowerPoint, they can't do that. So the PDF which comes, it is in a digital format or in a JPEG format. So it is very, very unlikely that they can manipulate the PDFs. So majority of the things are like that. Few of the PDFs which we send, like HealthClicks, what sir said, is a normal PDF. Yes, it can be manipulated. So it is better to send in a flattened form.
Yeah, but what this type of knowledge is not there with everybody. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
As much as a paper document can be manipulated, your electronic prescription can be manipulated.
Yes.
And multiple copies can be made, multiple outlets can dispense on multiple occasions. It's not foolproof in India at the current time, unless we have a system wherein I send a prescription to the pharmacy and I issue a token to the patient, wherein this guy goes and cashes the token. We give a digital key to the patient.
Actually, it would be better if suppose this electronic transmission is there with the medical shop.
Yes, pharmacy and
then he has, once he dispenses it, that should be cancelled or something like that should be there.
If I'm connected to the pharmacy, which happens in some of the countries, an electronic token is given. It's not a prescription. He can go to any of the pharmacies which are connected, and I go and flash my, it could be a QR code or an NFC or whatever, and once it's cashed, the prescription is cashed or delivered, that gets cancelled all over the system.
Yeah, but technologically that it can be faked. That's what I want to.
NHS does that. NHS does
any
that.
document online, the moment it goes on the web, it can be hacked and manipulated, anything.
That's what I'm telling you.
It's as good as a
As
paper
long as it is
prescription.
on your desktop, which is not connected to the
Paper
web.
prescription.
It should be on your desktop, not connected to the web. That cannot be.
No, there is no advantage because everything is now connected to web
Yes,
only. The advantage is only because of internet only.
Always hackers are.
Yeah, the paper was better actually because once you dispense in the paper, yeah, some of the they would just strike it off.
I mean, people used to print your letterheads and dispense themselves medication in the past as well.
Yes,
isn't
that's
it?
right. I don't understand
So
that. But
always-
your writing, once you give it, you can write there that it can be struck off once the medicine is dispersed. So it can be done.
So
If you
always
can type
hackers
in,
and
so please
manipulators
issue
are
once
ahead of
only,
the
stamp it
security.
off.
I
And
do
those-
understand you, Naresh, that manipulations can be done. That's what I am trying to ask specifically about
can
the
be, sir.
prescription only. But
If you are sending a certificate, medical certificate to someone, it's better to flatten it and send it. Or else, so for example, I take a
yeah, I don't understand what you mean by flattening.
it's just like you write it on a paper,
Yeah.
you take a photo and send it on a WhatsApp. When
It's
in
a
photo-
JPEG or some image
JPEG.
like that.
Yeah, it's when it's in a JPEG format, even in the Photoshop, when you do it, there will be some changes which can be there, which can picked up.
But that is a
technology
little,
currently,
yeah.
OCR
JPEG
is
can
so
be
good.
converted to PDF also.
Yes, OCR is so good. Actually, I mean, give me anything, I can give you a
Yes,
prescription
yes,
out
it
of
can
it.
be.
I mean,
They
that's-
can overwrite the JPEG and then take another JPEG out of
Yeah,
it. So that
JPEG
cannot-
to PDF is
There are
done.
lots of clever people out there.
So always hackers and manipulators are ahead of the securities.
No, that we know it. That's why I'm asking that whether that the screen lock or some system is there to, prevents manipulation. That's the thing. Like for example, for our medical papers, exam papers which we correct, once you submit it, you can do nothing about it. It's there in the server and you don't have any access to that and you cannot do anything about it. Once you mark it and submit it.
It's like Mission Impossible thing. Once you read it, it self-destructs itself. So that's
Yeah, that's what.
So another precaution taken here is, to some extent we can take precautions. Something which is not beyond our scope, we cannot do anything. Like always in the prescription is printed. Kindly put the date of supply of these medicines. Instruction to pharmacist. Put the date and sign of supply. And don't supply beyond this date.
What I'm saying is that the ChatGPT and the generation, they can easily replicate my writing also.
That's why I said, like majority of the pharmacists, they have that. In the
yes.
That's beyond our scope. What precaution we are taking, we are taking.
I think there are lots of vulnerabilities within the system. Perhaps as it evolves, it gets a bit more smarter and bit more foolproof, sir, as time goes. But at the same time, people are smarter. They'll find other ways of manipulating the system. If there are no questions from the floor, I think thank you very much, Dr. Ashok Reddy Garu and Dr. Chandani's team. It's been a great presentation. Great evening. Have a great evening, guys.
Thank you, sir, for this inspiring session. I would like to request Ashok, the chairpersons to give a memento to Dr. Ashok, sir. I request Dr. Ashok Reddy, sir, to give the mementos to the chairperson, Dr. Praveen Chintapanti, sir. Request speaker, sir, to give a memento to Dr. Nitin Kondapuram, sir. Thank you to the speaker and the chairpersons. Thank you, everyone. As we now reach the finale of this conference, I hope everybody leaves a little less uncertain and a little more confident. Now, proceeding to the valedictory ceremony, with the essay competition that we have conducted. This essay competition was for postgraduates and young career psychiatrists, with the theme being Psychiatric Services in Telangana, Bridging the Gap. This was judged by Dr. Anurag Srivatsav sir, Professor and HOD of Psychiatry at Medicity, Telangana. I request Dr. Praveen Chintapanti sir onto the dais to present the prizes for the essay competition. Welcome, sir. I recipient of the second prize, Dr. B. Satish Kumar, DNB resident from Asha Hospital. Congratulations. And the first prize goes to Dr. Anshuli Tiwari, resident from Deccan College of Medical Sciences. Congratulations, Dr. Anshuli. A thank you to all the participants who have submitted their essays. Now I welcome onto the stage Dr. Minazafar Nasirabadi, President of IPSTSB, to present the mementos for the organizing committee.
Yes, sir. The valedictory function, we'll arrange valedictory function and we'll do that.
Sure, sir.
Okay, even the prizes should be given by during valedictory function. Can you, the organizing team. Dr. Naresh, if he's here, sir, आपको मालूम है कैसा करना है, आ जाइए.
At the outset, I would like to invite Dr. Organizing Chairperson, Dr. Alim Chandani, to come onto the dais. Right. Now I would like to invite our President IPSTSB, Telangana State Branch, Dr. Minhaj Nasirabadi, to come onto the dais. I would like to invite the Vice President IPSTSB, who is Dr. Chandani himself again, to the dais again. I would like to invite Dr. Vishal Akula, the General Secretary. He is not here, I think. No, he's not here. Yeah, he's left, yeah. Right. Right. Treasurer is also. Yes, the editor. For the proceedings to the President, Dr. IPSTSB, to conclude the valedictory function.
There has been a small faux pas on our part. I do apologize. The prize distribution was supposed to be part of the
Valedictory function.
So can we go through the motions again? The prize winners.
I think we can call upon all the pharma companies. All the pharma companies are there.
Yeah. They're here.
सब लोग आ गए?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Someone can tell me who all are the come and give the second prize, please, please, sir. Ashok Reddy, sir. Abhi Ajay, please. Come. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I would like to call upon Dr. Anshuli Tiwari and Dr. Anand sir and Chandrasekhar sir to give the prize. Thank you. Team members, Neha. Momentum. Can to give memento to Dr. Neha. इधर से बीच में आ जाए. Come. Thank you. नाम क्या सर? Dr. Naresh sir, to hand over the memento and certificate to Revant. आप दीजिए. Thank you. Anudeep and Navya. सेकेंड ईयर पीजी सुप्रिया एंड अमूल्या, डॉक्टर फनीकांत, विशाल की तरफ से आप दे दीजिए. फर्स्ट ईयर पीजीज नम्रता by Dr. Ashok Limchandani sir. Thank you, sir. Namrata? No, Sindhuja. Sindhuja. Sorry, Sindhuja. Thank you. Clinical psychologist, Apollo Hospital, by Dr. Naresh sir. Thank you. We had asked our editor, Dr. Fanikant, to give his report, his 2 words about the journal. If you want to say about the journal, because inauguration method.
It was a wonderful program today. I think everybody had academic feast. The topics were very relevant. It dealt with the establishing of subspecialties, which is the need of the hour now. As editor, I would request everyone to send the articles to Telangana Journal of Psychiatry. And I also invite sponsors from the pharma people to support the academic activity. I congratulate the organizing team spearheaded by Dr. Ashok Alim Chandani sir. Congratulations sir for a wonderful program. Thank you.
I would like Dr. Naresh sir to say some few words.
First, I would like to thank Indian Psychiatric Society, Telangana State Branch for giving an opportunity to the Apollo Institute of Medical Sciences and Research to organize the 9th midterm CME of IPSTSB. And since then, and over the last 4 or 5 months, we have been working very hard. Dr. Chandani sir is, his hard work is immeasurable. Along with the team, the whole department, the assistant professor, Dr. Neha, who was really the backbone of the whole process of the journey which was going on for the last 4 or 5 months, and the PGs who put their heart out and tried to do their best as possible. And yes, the feedback from especially the biryani was very tasty. Like, thank you very much. right. And apart from that, the topics which were chosen by the EC of IPSTSB, I think that was very apt, and which was proposed by Dr. Chandani sir personally. And each and every topic, the chosen speakers, they have gone through a very filtered process, and we chose the very apt speakers who were really fantastic. And it was really, the whole academic feast was very good and gave a good insight to all the learning PGs, the upcoming PGs, as well as the new residents who are passed out. And yes, as a veteran, it was giving insight to us as well. Very new points were learned. And overall, the journey so far is fantastic. And I hope the members who have registered and the speakers and delegates who have attended have really gained from this experience. And again, finally, I would like to thank the pharma people. Yeah, right, that's fine.
I would like one of the consultants to talk about this CME, your feedback. Ashok sir, Chandrasekhar sir.
Wonderful theme by Dr. Ashok Chandani and team. It is the most practicable and useful for young psychiatrists. That's what we are supposed to do as a society. And the second thing, our place. I prefer institutions, not hotels. I'm happy about that. It's a very beautiful place within the city, very comfortable to come and stay there, and academic atmosphere, not other atmospheres. And the selection of speakers was wonderful. All of them have really done justice to their presentations. Their vast experience they have shared with the young psychiatrist here, it was quite useful for everyone. Even the food we have enjoyed, the lunch, the simple lunch what we have enjoyed today, it was very good. So on the whole, it was a wonderful program, very nice program. Thank you, Dr. Chandani and the team.
For an excellent event today. I think almost all the topics were covered extensively, and people had a fairly good grip on what the subject is about. I'm sure this will benefit most of the younger psychiatrists in their regular day-to-day practice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Feedback from residents. Anyone from Apollo?
Sir is the head of my department and Mazza sir is my assistant professor. This is my first CME and I'm just 1.5 months through. It was very important. First of all, thank you for having us here, though we are still juvenile to the subject. I think one of my most favorite part was the tele-consultations. I think that is the need of the hour, and that is also, patients keep calling us all the time for consults, and I think that was more educative. And I liked what Ashok sir also said towards the end about digitalization. So thank you so much. Thank you for having the CME, and thank you for having us. We're all first years. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I would request now Neha to give vote of thanks.
A very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the organizing committee of the 9th midterm IPS CPD, I, Dr. Neha Gala, treasurer of the CPD and assistant professor AIMSR, I'm privileged to propose the vote of thanks for today. At the outset, I would like to thank the Telangana State Branch for giving us this opportunity today to host the CPD, and I hope we have been able to deliver as per your expectations. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Ramesh Reddy sir, who was here with us today, and his commitment towards developing mental health services in the state and country have given us an impetus and reassurance that we are on the right path. I'd like to thank Dr. Umashankar sir, our guest of honor, for supporting us not only today but throughout the preparation of the CPD. And his passion for improving the lives of psychiatric patients has always been an inspiration. I would also now like to thank Dr. Arvinda Brahma sir, Honorary General Secretary of IPS, who flew in all the way from Kolkata to be our guest of honor today, and he has shared his expertise with all of us today. Of course, my most heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Raghuram Reddy sir, who accepted our invitation, joined us today from morning till evening. He has been the pioneer of mental health in Hyderabad and Telangana, and he has been a source of learning and inspiration for many generations of psychiatrists. I would just like to tell what he told me in the morning when I thanked him for coming. He said, "I'm here to learn." So for a man of his stature to say that he wants to learn even today is so inspiring. I thank all the speakers and chairpersons who took time off their busy schedules and who enlightened us with their wisdom and insights today. We are all going back today with newfound knowledge and zeal thanks to their enriching sessions. I would now like to extend my gratitude to the office bearers of Telangana State Branch, Dr. Minaj sir, Dr. Vishal sir, Dr. Anita ma'am, Dr. Fanikant sir, Dr. Ram Subba Reddy sir, and the EC members who were just a phone call away from us. Whenever we had any issues, we could just give them a call and they would guide us. We couldn't have pulled off this CPD without them. I also thank Dr. Anurag Srivastav sir, who was the judge for the essay competition. He lent his time and lexical prowess to judge the essay competition. I'm thankful to COO of AIMSR, Mrs. Aparna Reddy, our principal, Dr. Surendra Reddy, the entire HODs, faculty and staff of Apollo, who have encouraged us to hold this prestigious event. I now thank my organizing team, Dr. Ashok Alim Chandani sir, my HOD and the organizing chairperson, Dr. Naresh sir, our general secretary, and the remarkable organizing team, Siddharth, Revant, Rachel, Anudeep, Navya, Supriya, Amulya, Sindhuja, and Namrata. They have been working hard since months to put this momentous event together. I sincerely thank all the delegates who have joined us on a Sunday, an entire Sunday here, and because of you, this event was a grand success. Let us all channel our learnings today into a path so that we can make our state and country mental health positive. Our intern and singing volunteers also deserve a special thanks because they were so enthusiastic and helpful. All the pharma companies have come together and helped us and supported us to make this event memorable. The HR and admin team of Apollo, Mr. Haridhar, Mr. Ambedkar, the housekeeping and maintenance and security team. Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. I would just like to name the pharma companies: Sun Pharma, Crescent Pharma, Saini Pharma, Icon Pharma, Intas Pharma, Ipca Pharma, and Viatris Pharma. They've all helped us and supported us. Thank you so much about that. And Hansh Pharma also. I'm so sorry to miss out, but all of them have helped us all together right from the beginning. Our HR and admin team, Mr. Haridhar, Mr. Ambedkar, our housekeeping, security, maintenance, AV team, they have been the backbone of this event, and I'd really like to extend my heartfelt thanks to them. I'm really sorry if I have missed anyone. Please excuse me, but a big heartfelt thanks to all of you again. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Neha. Now, can I ask everyone to please stand up for National Anthem? Janagana mana
adhinayak jaya he Bharat bhagya vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण गणमङ्गलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Long live IPS, long live IPSTSB. Thank you. Can everybody come together for a group photo? Last. Pharma company people, आप लोग जाइए मत, आ जाइए. पीजी सब लोग आ जाइए. कम ऑल द पीजीज, एक बार अपन पूरे आ जाएंगे, फिर फार्मा के साथ भी लेंगे. सॉरी, थोड़ा सामने ले. थैंक यू. फार्मा सत्या, 1 मिनट बैठे रहिए. आप लोग भी आ जाइए, प्लीज कम. थैंक यू.